I truly believe that a little can come a long way. And that on these really busy days when we really just don't have the time and space for a full practice, that even 10, 15 minutes focused on our breathing can be so valuable. So, what I'd like to share today is a 10 to 15-minute practice focused on primarily breath. We'll use a couple of small movements that are almost meant to help enhance our awareness around breathing, but are almost secondary. And these practices are focused on calming and soothing our nervous system, so a more relaxing practice that can either be helpful at the end of the day or maybe before sleep, or just any time you might feel a little stressed or tense or overwhelmed. That's where this kind of practice can be helpful. Okay. I have a blanket just for extra support and padding, and a bolster that can be a big throw cushion instead as well. But let's start lying down, and you're welcome to use your bolster under your knees just for a little bit of support here. Maybe adding some height under the neck and head. Yeah, why don't you go ahead and rest hands on your belly. Make any final adjustments to your body or rearrange props. Finding a place that really invites you to be here for a moment. And then bring attention to your breath and start by noticing your belly. So notice the sensation of breath right under your hands. Belly rising with your in-breaths. Belly falling with your out-breaths. You may, if you like, place one hand to your upper chest, and also at the same time bring some awareness into how the chest moves along with your breath. So breathing into the belly, filling rib cage and the upper chest. And then a slow out breath as you let that go. Take just a couple more breaths here to sort of meet and greet your breathing, right? Just starting to connect, starting to get in touch with your own breath. Great. Now, what I'd like to try here, we'll continue the focus on breath, but go ahead and bend your knees and place your hands right on top of your kneecaps so that your fingers are pointing towards your ankles or feet. Your elbows are pointing down towards the ground. And begin with your arms straight so that maybe knees are moving a little further away from your chest. And take a nice breath in through the nose, big breath in. And then exhale very slowly while simultaneously drawing the knees in towards your chest. It can be a really light stretch, really small movement. And then begin to inhale as you straighten the elbows, move the knees away from yourself. And exhale, exhale, exhale as you bring the knees in. It's okay also to separate the knees apart if that feels a little bit better in your body. And then we're going to keep on repeating that. See if you can take 4 slow counts to inhale while the elbows straighten. And then 4 slow counts as you bring the knees in. Okay, so it's almost this feeling of how slowly can I move here? I know it's a very simple movement, and yet trying to coordinate movement and breath. Begin each breath and movement together, and also finish movement and breath together. Okay, slow breath in on 4 counts, and exhale, 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 exhale. Try this just a couple more times for yourself. Maybe even beginning to slow down those counts. Take even more time. Good. And then let that go. You may briefly straighten the legs or let knees rest on your cushion again. Let breath return to normal. And just notice. Great. We're going to take a brief moment up in a seated position. So take a second here to roll onto your side. Press up to sit, and it can be quite helpful here to have a layer of blanket under your sits bones for support. Your legs are long out in front of you. Your bolster is resting on your thighs. Okay. If legs are tight today, an additional blanket roll under the knees can be helpful, but not required. Now, hands are on your knees or shins, wherever you can reach, and take a breath in, sit nice and tall through the spine. And then as you slowly exhale, slide your hands forward towards your ankles and begin to drape your body over your bolster. We're not pushing, we're not stressing anything, we're not even looking for a big stretch, we're just looking for a very, very light and easy movement here. Slowly take a breath in and let your hands slide back as you return to sit. And then slowly exhale, exhale, exhale as you fold forward. Okay, now let's bring in those counts. Can you inhale 4 counts? Really slow 4 counts if possible. Exhale, 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 exhale. Now you're welcome to keep on repeating the same rhythm, keeping in and exhalations the same length, or to begin lengthening your exhalations and see if you can work with 5 or even 6 counts to exhale. Okay, so inhaling for about 4. And exhale, slow down even more. 5, possibly 6 counts. Okay. I'm going to offer one more element here. The next time you exhale those 4, 5, or 6 counts, see if you can briefly pause. Lungs are empty. Hold your breath. Hold the pose. And then inhale, come back up to sit. Exhale, 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 and briefly pause. Try this just a couple more times, breathing in as you come to sit. Find as long of an out breath as feels good to you and hold your breath briefly. Try one last round. Good. As you finish up here, come up to sit. Now we're going to bring our bolster back under the knees, returning onto our back. Okay, hands can be on your belly, maybe arms are long on the floor here. See what feels right to you. Good. Now we'll let movements fade out and come back to this breathing practice that we've slowly established today here, adding onto step by step. So begin again by taking a breath in for about 4 counts and also exhale for 4 counts. And of course we can count a little faster, count a little slower, but overall we're aiming for these slower counts as long as it doesn't feel strained or forced. Good. Now the next time you may inhale slowly, but as you exhale, slow down even more and see if you can take 5 or even 6 counts to exhale. Inhale slowly. Exhale, take even more time. And you may find that right here, like this is the place for you to work with for a little while longer, and please feel free to do so. If you'd like to add the retention, you may, with the next round, empty your lungs and then briefly hold your breath with your lungs empty of air. May just be a second or 2, and then inhale for 4. Exhale 5 or even 6 counts. And briefly pause. And try this about 5 more times. And make adjustments as needed. So instead of just sort of clinging on to these exact counts, I think it's really more important for us to make adjustments to make this really work for us. So think about this as a template, the idea of slightly longer exhalations than in-breaths, with a possible pause, couple counts, maybe longer if that feels right to you. And when you're completing that last round, return to your natural breath. And notice how you feel now. there's in fact a part in you that feels a little more settled, a little calmer. See if you can get a sense for when there is that shift in your nervous system. Yeah, take one final breath in here. And exhale. Feel free to stay on your back, resting for a little longer. Or if you'd like to come to an end here, roll to your side. Come on up to sit, and thank you so much for exploring. If this practice seems valuable and it's something you'd like to dive into a little bit more, there's a short series called Yoga and Sleep where we work with our breathing, but adding on some more movements, all aiming for shifting into that parasympathetic nervous system, into relaxation. So it can be a helpful practice, not only if you're looking for sleep support, but even as a way to wind down at the end of a long day. Thank you, and take care.